Hello, everyone. My name is Carl, and today I'll be talking about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and in an extension, also Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Because face it, partner Pokemon games are pretty much the exact same. What can be said about one can be said about the other. In any case, the game was developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo for the Switch exclusively alongside Pokemon Let's Go Eevee on November 16th, 2018. It'll run you $59.99, and it was rated E for mild cartoon violence. It is a mainline Pokemon game, question mark, maybe. A remake of the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green games set in the Kanto region. And it was released as kind of a Pokemon Go tie-in. Now, this game was released in response to, or at least what I believe to be in response to, an interesting problem the Pokemon Company had, and that was when they released Pokemon Go in the summer of 2016. If y'all remember that, it was a huge phenomenon, and there was a not insignificant number of people whose first experience with Pokemon was with Pokemon Go. You'd think, it would be okay. A lot of people that are already fans of the video games are now playing Pokemon Go. But a lot of people who knew what Pokemon is, maybe, but had never played any of the games, they had a smartphone, so they're like, okay, everybody else is playing it, I'm gonna play it. So now they have this whole player base of of people playing a Pokemon game that they want to get interested in the main game. So I believe, what's happening is they made Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, which is kind of takes the battle mechanics of normal Pokemon, traditional Pokemon games, but the Pokemon catching mechanics from Pokemon Go, and meshes them together in kind of an attempt to bridge the gap and I think persuade Pokemon Go players to play the mainline game. Now, personally, I never played Pokemon Go. I did not have a smartphone when Pokemon Go came out. And plus, my favorite part of Pokemon is the battling. So, given that there was actually no battling in Pokemon Go, and the battling now is like really simplistic and dumb, I think, I never got it. So, going into this, I was more curious than anything to see like how it would be done. Some people were saying it was just like a gross simplification of the game, and it treated you like a baby. And so I was wondering, like, okay, am I gonna feel like I'm being babied here, or am I gonna get a unique experience? Do I know? Well, I found out. In any case, on to the gameplay and how I feel about that. With the Pokemon series in general, one of the biggest things I've been criticizing over the years is their lack of real structural improvements and their lack of inspiration. Pokemon is the biggest media franchise in the world, the highest grossing media franchise in the world. So they don't need to do much in terms of good game design to make people buy their games. They can, as long as they freshen things up with some new Pokemon every once in a while, they can continue to sell Pokemon games. So when I heard that like this was coming out and it was like a different spin on Pokemon, I was kind of like, okay, like I'm hoping. And I was pleasantly surprised actually. Um, I enjoyed some fresh new mechanics that they put in the game. So specifically, the biggest changes were how you encounter and catch Pokemon. Normally, in a traditional Pokemon game, there would be tall grass dotting the landscape. You walk around in the tall grass. There's a chance that you'd get attacked by a wild Pokemon. You could either run away from that Pokemon or you could fight it with one of your Pokemon. And if you fought it, you can knock it out to gain some experience, or you could um, try to weaken it and catch it. And that was, the bread and butter of catching Pokemon. But in this game, how it works is there still is the run through the wild grass thing, but Pokemon will come out of the wild grass and wander around, or the tall grass rather, and wander around. So you get to see what Pokemon you could potentially catch. And one, you can pick and choose what Pokemon you want to catch, and two, they'll chase after you. So it kind of adds a little bit more interesting action to the overworld in that you're trying to dodge around Pokemon instead of just walking through tall grass and rolling your eyes when a random encounter appears. So how you catch them, you run into one, you find them, and then instead of actually fighting them with one of your Pokemon to weaken them, you can throw berries and Pokeballs, although I never threw a berry, and you threw Pokeballs with the Joy-Con with gyro. So you would throw it, and then there would be a big circle, and it would get smaller and smaller and smaller, and it would line up with this small circle on the Pokemon. And you wanted the ball to hit them when the two circles aligned, and you wanted the ball to hit them in the middle of the circle. So the harder to catch the Pokemon was to catch, the smaller the circle inherently. So that's like removes a lot of the complexity of like draining, the Pokemon's HP and whatever. But, does it make catching easier? Yeah. And do I like that? Yes. Um, I've always kind of found it ironic about uh, one of the slogans of Pokemon being like, gotta catch them all. And the whole point, like your career starts out, the game starts out with the professor giving you a Pokedex and saying, "Hey, fill it out for me." But like catching Pokemon, I get that some people like it, but I think it's like a real slog. Like it's inherently not a great like gameplay loop because if you want to catch all the Pokemon on a route, you have to run around the tall grass until you find the Pokemon you want. Hope that there's no other Pokemon that you haven't run into. Like weaken it but not knock it out, and then you have to throw Pokeballs. And if you weaken it down to 1 HP and put it to sleep, and it's still breaking out of its Pokeball like a legendary would, keep throwing it. Keep throwing Pokeballs. There's nothing more you can do. You just have to throw Pokeballs and cross your fingers. So it's much nicer to have some actual skill. And even if they burst out of the Pokeballs easy, you still have to actively participate in the game, and you're not just hitting throw ball, throw ball, throw ball. Um, but yeah, so I really enjoyed that thing that's been really tedious to me for a long while now to be streamlined, even though it is kind of a simplification in a way. Overall, the battling is largely the same. You only can use the first 150 with a couple exceptions. Some of the Alolan forms of Pokemon are included here. You can Mega Evolve Pokemon as well, so you can get like Mega Charizard, Mega Venusaur, or whatever. You get, of course, the defining mechanic is it's Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. At the start, you get a Pikachu or an Eevee, and they stick with you your entire time. I'm not sure. You might be able to take them out of your party. I'm pretty sure you can take them out of your party, but like you want to keep them in. And it's not, and the game makes you want to keep the Pokemon in your party, even though Pikachu and Eevee are like crappy Pokemon, like they're not a final evolution. They teach them like stupidly overpowered moves of different types so that they're relevant. So that was kind of fun. Like, it's definitely a light take on Pokemon. It's not trying to be dramatic or anything. Um, they did other things like you don't have to use hidden moves outside of battle to fly or surf or cut down small trees. Like your partner Pokemon just learns all those. It's kind of funny. They learn to like surf and they learn to operate like this little aircraft with balloons on it, and they fly you on this little aircraft in between towns. It's cool. You can also, when you beat the game, you can kind of fly over obstacles. If you have an Aerodactyl Charizard or a Dragonite, you can just fly over obstacles with them. So you don't have to deal with things and tall grass and whatever if you've beaten the game, which is great. I think that like I'm a big proponent of games like sure you can have tedious things that are challenging like um walking through walking through a town, right? Walking through a route to get to a town in Pokemon. Yeah, you have to get through the route and maybe through a mountain, and you have to get beaten by trainers and whatnot. But once you do it that one time, like it's challenging, but it's not inherently fun. Like, it's fun to overcome the challenge and, like, see and explore. But, like, once you do that, like, you're done, right? You're like, I don't want to do that ever again. I'm happy I overcame the challenge, but I don't want to. So it's good that it incorporates elements of, like, okay, you've beaten the game. Like, you shouldn't have to just run around everywhere. Like, you can fly now. You can fly to wherever you want. And I really appreciate that sort of thing, because once I beat, like, especially a Pokemon game, I just kind of want it to be a sandbox. Like, I've beaten the main objectives. Like, I've caught the legendaries. I've got the gym badges. I've beaten Team Rocket. I've claimed the championship. Like, I just want to fart around and catch Pokemon. And it's a pain in the butt to be like, oh my god. So if I want to catch this Pokemon, I've got to go all the way into Mount whatever and climb to the top and then run around. Like, no, let me just fly there, right? Um, it's kind of ironic, I think. They were attempting to, like, dumb this game down to appeal to Pokemon Go users that have a lot of simpler mechanics, but perhaps inadvertently, they took out a lot of the headache-inducing mechanics that I have come to that I used to, like, think were endearing and just quirks of Pokemon, but have now come to be like, this is a pain in the butt. Like, why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing the random encounters and everything and all that? So, and I really appreciate that. But I do have a little bonus part for gameplay. This is a Pokeball Plus. It was widely marketed, like, in conjunction with the game, and I have a little. It's got a little grip thingy on there. It's got a little charging stand. It's like a Pokemon, like a Poke Center thing. So that's pretty cool. But this is a controller, advertised as a controller. It's got a joystick right here. It's got a button on top, and you can also click the stick for a button. And I believe so. Joystick was move, and I think clicking. I don't know if you can hear that, but clicking the stick down was A, and pressing the button on top was Y, and that was all you needed to play the game. And, like, it's got gyro in it and rumble and everything, so you can throw Pokeballs like this by swinging it. Don't throw it, swinging it. So yeah, I played through the entirety of the game with this accessory. I heard other people saying that it made them, like, gave them hand cramps, but I don't know. I was fine with it. I have, like, a relatively big hands. Like, I don't have small hands, and I was fine. It was a little awkward, like, trying to click the stick down and not accidentally moving it sometimes. To press A, which you need to do a lot, like advancing through dialogue and selecting things. But, it wasn't a hindrance. It was kind of nice if you have one of those. You could put, like, a Pokemon in it and, like, walk around with it, but I didn't care. I never did that. But another thing you could do was, it came with a Mew, legendary Mew Pokemon inside, and you could load it into your game only once, though. And yeah, so I used Mew in my party, and that was another fun thing. It's like, you never use legendaries in your party because you never get them early, and you've already got your established party. But hey, I got a Mew first thing. Why not, right? I don't care. It's let's go. Uh, but yes, gameplay pleasantly surprised. On to the story. While the original, like, Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow followed the main character and his rival, later games revealed to be a man named Red and his rival being named Blue, as they get their Pokedex and they go and, like, do this, and they go and get all 8 gym badges immediately for become the champion, all that good stuff. This game, Red and Blue exist, but as separate characters, which is kind of interesting. And the storyline, it's implied, is they were sent out by Professor Oak earlier, before an electronic Pokedex was invented, to try to gather information. But now you are gathering info with the actual electronic Pokedex. So it involves you and your rival going on a journey. And, like, I don't think you interact with Red. I can't remember. I feel like Red was in the game somewhere, but you don't really interact with him. You do interact with Blue a decent amount. He does talk to you a bit, but more or less, I think the story is mostly the same as it was in the original Pokemon games. Which is pretty cool. It's your standard Pokemon affair. Nothing too amazing. It is fun to defeat Team Rocket, they are an evil gang that's stealing Pokemon for their own nefarious purposes. Yeah, so good stuff there. Whatever. The rival though, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your rival should be someone you want to beat, right? That's the point of a rival, like to encourage you to beat them, and you want your rival to be skilled, and or mean, so that beating them is satisfying. But in this game, it's like your rival's like this, you and your rival are both these chipper young kids that are like, yeah, let's go, we'll win, and it's kind of like you feel bad beating him. You feel bad like beating his team because it's like he's like kicking a puppy, right? And then, like in the original ones, your rival becomes champion, and you're like, really? Like, why? Like, how'd he get? Like, he sucks, But whatever. On to graphics and art style. It was cool seeing the OG Kanto region games, like the entire region made into a 3D, like more over the shoulder than top down type thing. Other than that, like again, standard art. It doesn't look like crap, but it doesn't look awesome either. Whatever. Um, Music wise, I don't remember anything about the music, so they're probably just good remixes of fine remixes of the original games, musics. But in any case, DLC, no DLC. Uh, but yeah, so on to my recommendation. So overall, I was rather surprised that I was going to enjoy this game as much as I did. Like I said at the start, I've been seeing a kind of general um, decline in Pokemon games as Game Freak or whomever is making this decisions, Pokemon Company, Nintendo, Game Freak, whatever, seems very happy with not trying and not and just like designing new Pokemon and making some cute ones and some cool ones, and then everybody just falls in line and buys it anyway. And like, part of me can't blame them because everybody buys it anyway. But it was nice to see something different, and that's why I think that I like this game as much as I did, because it was just something different. Um, Going in, like I always saw Pokemon Go as like watered down surface level Pokemon, kind of like I don't want to be like gatekeepy here, but I always thought like, oh, I've been playing Pokemon since the beginning, and I know a lot about Pokemon, and someone's coming here saying I got to catch 3 Weedles to evolve my other Weedle, and it's like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You have to train up your Weedle with fighting and battling, and they're like, oh, well, there isn't any battling, and I'm like, that's like the whole point of Pokemon. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with seeing that, um, like they kept battle mechanics from OG Pokemon, but took Pokemon Go mechanics from for catching Pokemon, and that worked really well to streamline the experience. Overall, I like to describe this as like a nice little game. It was a fun little game. This is not something that I think is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this, is the future of Pokemon, and since it has proved not to be, and I don't think it's anything that people will say like, oh, this was the best game in the series or anything like that. But they made some changes. I liked them. I played it. I'm probably never gonna play this again, honestly. Um, there's just no reason to go back. There's no big reason for me to go back and collect a bunch of Pokemon, fill out the Pokedex, whatever. Don't care. So I'll give it a 7. It's solid. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's a great entry point into the series if you're someone that's not too familiar with the series, or if you're only played Pokemon Go before. I think it'd be a kind of a nice transition, rather than hitting you with a tidal wave of, guess what? Pokemon is nothing like Pokemon Go. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, a lot of people said that they thought it was really simplifying, like, and they just weren't trying and they didn't care, and it was just a stupid baby Pokemon. And so maybe if I went into this with a different mindset, I would be like, oh, wow, they really didn't try on this one. But I like I said, I'm just glad that they tried something new for once, and it didn't absolutely blow up in their face. So yes, that's my thoughts on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and by extension, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Do you agree with what I said? Disagree? Got any questions, comments, concerns? You can drop them in the comments section down below. I read all my comments. But in any case, thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you later. Safe out there, folks. Bye.